going on, guys? Flick here, and welcome back to another episode of the Liverpool Career Mode. And this episode is going to be big for the future of this series because we're going to determine our fixtures in the EuroLeague depending on how we perform in that final EuroLeague match against Elfsborg. If we get a win, we finish at the top of our group, which would be ideal. But we also have several matches to get through in the Premier League today, and we're actually simulating that EuroLeague match and then playing all these Premier League matches. Because they're all matches I want to play. Some good opponents in there, including the now Premier League champions for the 2015-2016 season, Leicester City. But by the end of this episode, we'll have completed December, which will mean we'll have a better understanding of what players we do want to transfer list in the January transfer window. And I'm going to be relying a lot on your guys' comments to determine the fate for some of our players in this series. One of the main players being Simone Mignolet. He's received a lot of stick from you guys in the comments section. Some of you guys are fans of him, some of you guys are not fans of him. So I'll be looking over the comments and kind of deciding whether to sell him or not based on some of those comments. So if you're a fan of Mignolet, make sure you let me know. If you think I should sell him in replace for a better goalkeeper, maybe the likes of Timo Horn or Marc-Andre ter Stegen, also let me know down in the comments section below. But we did finish at the top of our group in the EuroLeague, and thus we got a little bit more money added to our transfer budget, which we will hopefully use to invest in another 5-star scout. And that will give us all three 5-star scouts and hopefully add some good players to our already stacked youth academy. But now getting into the first match of the episode, it will be against West Brom. And it was at home. I was feeling good going into this match. West Brom's one of those sides that you don't expect to be the best team, but they've got some quality players in there, so we cannot take them for granted. But some good build-up starting things off with Marco Reus going with that long shot, hitting the crossbar and cleared out by the West Brom defense. So starting things off on a good note, I'd like to see Reus perform a bit better in the second half of the season. He gets close on so many opportunities, and don't get me wrong, he does create a lot of chances for this team. But I want to see him as more of a prolific goal scorer for us because he was a big money transfer, and I expect a lot of things from players that we paid $40+ million for. But this first half really wasn't very exciting. A couple of fouls and no real chances besides that Marco Reus shot going off the crossbar. But now jumping to the second half, it's the 54th minute. It's Jordan Henderson playing inside to Emre Can. Now finding Marco Reus inside to Daniel Sturridge. Back to Reus and playing outside to Moreno. He tried to curl this one around Foster, but it was cleared out once again by the West Brom defense. And here we make some substitutions, bringing on Divock Origi, Benteke, and Lallana, sending the ball in, and it was Sakho back for this episode. He nearly got a goal to start things off. What a start that would have been for him. But now it's Origi running down the pitch, and he's looking to cross this one in, but it was a acrobatic save by Foster. And once again, man, it was just so tough to break down this West Brom defense. They kind of sat back. They were hoping to get a draw here, and that's fair. We're doing really well in the league, and a draw would be a big result for West Brom. But finally, we're patient. We worked the ball around. Benteke with a nice fake shot, and he's going to finish that strong with his left foot, giving us the 1-0 lead there in the 80th minute, which was not a lot of time left for them to come back into this game. We parked the bus at this point, and we end up winning the match 1-0. So very comfortable win there after we got that goal. They didn't really test us in those last 10 minutes, and they really didn't test us the whole game. It was really either going to be a 0-0 draw or we would have ended up getting the win. Luckily, we did get the win and picked up the full 3 points in this match. You can tell from the stats we deserved this victory, especially in front of the home fans at Anfield. But now we have the risk of losing one player. That player is Kolo Touré. Not really concerned about that. I'm looking to offload him here in the January transfer window because if you guys can remember, he did demand a transfer, which was interesting. So if someone signs him on a pre-contract, then I guess we'll have to stick with him for another 4 or 5 months. And if not, we'll just sell him off to another team. You know, I want to get him involved in more of the action, but you know, if he's going to have that kind of attitude, there's really no reason for me to be giving him play time. But now jumping to the second match of the episode, it was against Watford, and we did switch out the starting 11 a little bit in this match. Alberto Moreno, he was just a pesky defender to the Watford defense, really pushing up the pitch and trying to get a goal there. Unfortunately, that shot was right at the keeper. But here, another pesky defender is Troy Deeney. He just wins the ball back, sends in the cross, and they end up getting the goal through Amrabat. I couldn't believe Mignolet got beat on the near post right there, but we really should have defended better. To be honest, but we come right back right after kickoff. It's Coutinho here on the right side. He's just dribbling by those defenders, plays inside to Roberto Firmino, now to Henderson. He finds Danny Ings, and this does fall to Milner, plays it through to Ings. We're looking to get a goal on that near post, but he does the stop and turn. Great chance for Milner, but Pantilimon, man, he had a great game in this match, and he's a tough keeper to score, and he's just so big, and you know, there's not a lot of room for you to shoot. And he kind of performs better than for a low-rated keeper. But there again, Pantilimon just stretching his lengthy arms out and making that saves. We look to make some substitutions, maybe turn things around. Divock Origi and Benteke coming in. And, you know, they didn't make too much of an impact on this game, I'm not going to lie. But now Coutinho finding Milner out to the outside. It's Marco Reus. He's trying to cut in, get it on his right foot. Goes with that right-footed shot. But again, Pantilimon making the diving save and making a second save right there. So they were just tough to break down. Here Milner playing it once again. Christian Benteke a chance, but Pantilimon comes off his line, makes another save. And Milner was creating so many chances in this game. You can see pretty much every opportunity started with him. Finally we turn, and Coutinho, you gotta put that one away. And he really shot it right at Pantilimon. Couldn't believe Coutinho didn't put that away, because he's the man who has really come in clutch when we needed him to, and that was one of those times where I needed him to come in. But here, Igalo just goes around our defense, nearly scores an acrobatic goal, and Watford do manage to hang on for this victory. Couldn't believe we lost this game, but I would say man of the match went to Pantilimon. He made so many good saves. I could count like 3 or 4 opportunities where it could have gone in the back of the net, but Pantilimon made a good save, or our finishing just wasn't good enough. You can tell from the stats we did get more opportunities, but Watford, they deserve the victory at home. Yeah, not much to say there. Those kind of games do happen where we create chances, but just don't get the goals, and hopefully we can learn from that and be a little bit more clinical in future matches. But now getting into another youth scout report, this one being from Ireland, and this month no good results, so we'll move on and hopefully find another player in next month's report. And now over to the United States, hoping to finally find a good player with our 5-star scout. And the last player, Will Guzan, 92 potential. We'll take him and see if he does progress into a decent little player. And now hopping into the third match of the episode against Leicester City. This will be a good one. Leicester is always a difficult opponent for me to play. But with that said, I don't think I've played against Leicester with the updated squads. I've only played against them with the squads that came with the start of FIFA 16 with my West Ham save. So they've gotten rating upgrades because they've had such a great season in the Premier League. And I was kind of afraid to play against players like the likes of Jamie Vardy and Conte, who have gotten big upgrades, and their performances in FIFA are going to just be better. But we start things off pretty well. It was Daniel Sturridge getting the first goal, and of course we're going to be getting wavy after that goal. But Daniel Sturridge making a strong case why he should be the starting striker for this team, not just for the immediate future, but the long-term future. He doesn't want to get sold, and he's scoring a lot of good goals, so it's making me second-guess my initial thoughts to maybe sell him during the coming transfer window. I'm thinking about keeping him now, even though we could potentially get a lot of cash for him and pick up a striker that might have better skill moves and a better weak foot set. But if Daniel Sturridge keeps scoring goals like that one, I'm going to be keeping him on the team, despite him having a 2-star weak foot. But moving on, we picked up a slight injury there with Coutinho. I brought in Lallana, though, who's not a bad replacement. He tried setting the ball in, but Kasper Schmeichel coming off his line hard there. And now Dyer playing this one through to Okazaki. He bangs it off the crossbar. It's Jamie Vardy once again, though, getting the goal for Leicester City, making it 2-1. And Leicester were going to be a tough team to come back against. The Foxes are quite good defensively, and with them having the lead at halftime, I knew it was going to be difficult to come back to this game. But they make a mistake right here, pass it right to Sturridge. He's going to try to cut inside, get it on his preferred left foot, but he just gets outstrength, which was unfortunate. Luckily, though, we win the header back with Matip. Falls to Henderson. Henderson playing outside to Royce. Royce to Lallana. Lallana to Sturridge. And look at this for a finish with his right foot, his weak foot. Sturridge just calmly slotted that one by Schmeichel, making it 2-2, and it looked like it was going to be a high-scoring affair. Only 55 minutes into the game, 4 goals scored in total, but now it's Okazaki. A good bit of dribbling, and look at that for a finish. Man, that was a tough goal to concede, and you can't discredit that one. It was a classy finish that gave Leicester the lead once again, but we were coming right back. We were going hard, trying to get that third goal, and now it's Royce trying to get through the defense. Gets by 2 defenders, looks to cross it in again, but once again, Schmeichel making that save, and he was very good at coming off his line in this match. But now Lallana finding Emre Can here on the inside. He's going to play it off to Sturridge. That fake shot is working so well, and now it's a near post shot with his left foot. He's not going to miss from there, and we do get a 3-3 draw. Potentially one of the most exciting games in the season. Regardless of the result, you know, I would have liked to pick up the win, but it was a fun game to play. And I love playing those kind of games of FIFA where both teams score a lot of goals and you're really in it for the full 90 minutes. Either team could have picked up the win, and I think a draw is a fair result, to be fair. Both teams were super clinical, not even too many chances created. Luckily, Philippe Coutinho is only going to be out for 5 days, so he will be slightly injured for this match. I'm not even sure if I start him. We'll see here in a second. But it was against Sunderland, who in real life aren't doing that great, and they do have some alright players. They are starting DeAndre Yedlin, and I did give Coutinho the rest. Actually, we started second team in this match since some of our players were so tired. It was like 2 days after the previous game. But even despite conceding 3 goals in our previous game, we are still the best defensive team in the Premier League. But a bit of a mistake here by Pickford. He kind of clears it right to Gomez. I was trying to finesse that one, just curl into the back of the net. But unfortunately, the Sunderland defense does get in the way of those plans. But now it's going to fall to Rossiter. He does find Danny Ings. He plays it through. And I think it might have been Divock Origi. If he would have kept running inside, that would have been a goal. But unfortunately, it was a boring first half. We got 2 chances. Neither chance was really that great, but we made some substitutions, bringing in Teixeira, which might be his first appearance this season, Benteke, as well as Milner. So giving some of our better players an appearance in this game, hoping that would make an impact against the Sunderland side. But a couple of good saves there by Mignolet, trying to redeem himself after that 3-goal shocker in the last game. But now Defoe, 77th minute chance, and we know Defoe's quite quick, though a good bit of defense by Milner should have cleared that ball out, but again, Mignolet making a good save. And that's what I mean. He's just been inconsistent. He has good games where he holds clean sheets, and then he has games where he concedes some silly goals. So I just don't know what to think of Mignolet. He's just too inconsistent for him to be a long-term keeper for this team. And if he's not growing, I'm going to have to sell him. But unfortunately, this game does end at 0-0. Not the most exciting of games, especially coming after that Leicester City 3-3 match. But guys, that is going to wrap up the episode. Make sure you leave those transfer suggestions down in the comment section below, because we will have the transfer episode in the next episode. And if you guys have enjoyed this episode, make sure you leave a like down below, subscribe if you're new around here, and until next time, this has been Flake. I'll be talking to you guys again soon.